Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Don Bird. I'm your host, your friend, your mentor, your coach. And this week we are talking about emergency funds and why you need one. Today we're going to be discussing saving strategies for your emergency fund. Now, let's say you are convinced that an emergency fund is essential to your financial life, to your family. How do you go about starting saving for one? Well, we got you covered here today. Today, we will be exploring effective saving strategies and tips to ensure your fund grows steadily. All right. Are you ready to take the first step to financial security? So now you are sold. You think that you know that an emergency fund is essential for your financial foundation, for your financial security, but you're not sure on how to start saving for one. Well, I got you covered. Listen, guys, we have to think about saving as a muscle, a habit that we get into. Guys, if you've never saved anything before, this is not going to be an easy task for you. You're going to get disillusioned. You're going to get complacent. You're going to get impatient with the process of building an emergency fund from scratch. Let's say you open a bank account, okay? And they make you put, let's say, $100 in there. All right, so you put your $100 in there. Now, let's say you want to put 3 months of savings into that fund. You make $100,000 a year. 3 months of that savings is 25% of that dollar amount, which is about $25,000. Now, $25,000 is a lot of money. So don't think that you need much more than that inside of your emergency fund. 25K is plenty, especially if you look at your after-tax income from that 100,000. That's what we need to be focused on. 25,000 is 3 months of 100,000 gross, but 100,000 net, you may be paying, let's say you pay $20,000 in tax. Well, it's down to 80,000 and you only need 25% of that. So when you think about what 25% of 80 is, it's down to 20,000. 20,000 is still a nice amount of money, fair amount of money, but you also have to consider you need an emergency fund to cover, let's say, a job loss. Now, I would say, in my professional opinion, that covering a job loss is a one-off expense. You're going to need to be very well heeled to sustain a job loss for any long period of time. So you need to get focused on finding a job right away if you've lost your job. But other than a job loss, I think $20,000, if you make $100,000, is plenty in your emergency fund. Now, how do you build up to that, though? How do you build up to $20,000 in your emergency fund? It's not easy because you got to save a lot of money, right? You have to save a lot of money to get to $20,000, especially if you're doing it in small portions. Well, it depends on how much you make. If you make $100,000 a year, you're probably making about $8,000 a month, which after taxes probably comes out to, say, $5,000 or $6,000 a month. You need to consider saving $200 to $500 per month in your savings, in your emergency fund. All right. Now, these videos sometimes get hard to make because the real truth of it is that that's why no one does it. No one saves or builds an emergency fund because they don't want to part with this precious money at this time that they don't need to perhaps save. But you do. You have to think about your life holistically. You have to think about your financial situation in a broader context than just what you want and what you have today. So start thinking about it. DM me, tap in, guys. I want to talk about your financial life holistically. I want to help you build your emergency fund and help you understand why it's important to stay the course, build your fund, get involved, tap in today. $250 a month, okay? 250 times 12. It comes out to be about what, $3,000. You're nowhere near 20,000, but you're at 3. Now, what if you don't need the money this year? Well, that's good. That's a good thing. You didn't have an emergency. That means you're a good planner, right? You take appropriate levels of risk, etc. 3,000. Next year you got 6. And then the following year, you keep building on that fund until it's set. And then you can use it for so many different things. I'll get into that in the next video, guys. All right, stay tuned. I want to see you in the place. Tap in, hit that like button, comment down below on your experiences with emergency funds, with emergency needs, with financial security, financial literacy. I want to help you guys tap in. Join me in this discussion.